are here to help you look and feel your best. Teresa Horab is a registered nurse and owner of the Amherst Laser Wellness Center, and she is here with Nicole Parker, an expert in a new service that you are offering, neurofeedback. This is Nicole Parker. So good morning, everybody. Welcome.
Good morning.
And to Nicole, welcome to the area. You're a
Thank
transplant. You're a new person here, right?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Buffalo.
And we told everybody that, Nicole, the weather is like this all the time in December, so we can keep Nicole. So it's so nice to have you both here. All right. Teresa and Nicole, why don't you tell us about this new service that you're offering?
Well, Linda, as you know, I own Amherst Laser and Wellness, and my whole mission has always been to move people in a healthier direction, if you will. And we've been able to do that quite well with our laser lipo, and I feel like we've got a great proprietary package to do that. And in interviewing people over the last few years for that service, I kept hearing a lot of the same things comes from people, and actually it's affected my own home as well. And that are things like anxiety, depression, OCD, ADD, ADHD. And in a quest to help our own son, we actually had to go out to Children's Hospital of Michigan to get some diagnosis and possible treatment. But what we were offered was similar to what we had learned here, and that was traditional medicine, such as therapy and medication. And quite frankly, my son just wasn't willing to be compliant with that. It just didn't fit in his life and regimen. So we were on a quest to find something different, something more alternative, something that had that got to the root of the problem and helped us sustain the progress. And it was just fate, Linda, that somebody came into my office and shared with me a gentleman who actually was born and raised in Williamsville, but now lived in California and had a treatment that he thought might help my son.
Really?
So, you know, as parents, we'll do anything, right? So I took a leap of faith and contacted this gentleman. My husband and I invited him to Buffalo to demo this technology on our son.
Okay.
And he was willing to do that and had phenomenal results within just one treatment. It absolutely got our attention so much that we made a commitment to fly out to San Diego. My husband's a pharmacist, so we went together as a medical team to purchase the equipment, to get trained on it so we could, of course, not only treat our son, but we saw a much bigger picture. It started out personal, moved into, oh my goodness, we could help so many people. In that venture to do that, we met Nicole. Nicole was the first RN to ever provide this service in the world. She is the expert for the company. She's the liaison, does a lot of the research and training for the company. When I got back to Buffalo, I thought, okay, I need more than just myself to launch this. So I put a little core group of my nurse buddies together and said, invited Nicole out to train them. Within about 5 hours of Nicole landing in Buffalo, honestly, I had her talked into moving here because I knew
Love it.
in order to launch this correctly, Linda, because it's such a sensitive area in people's lives, I would need the proper people in place to do that appropriately. And there was nobody better than Nicole. And like you said, I sold her on the weather.
Well, of course, yes. You told her it's like this all the time. You're calling, this is called neurofeedback?
This is microcurrent neurofeedback. It's the latest technology. It's a very gentle burst of electricity that bathes the brain. It isn't shock therapy. It's a gentle massage for the brain. The brain habituates very quickly. It loves to learn. So it's a novel thing for the brain. What we do is we get to the root cause of dysregulation, and that is typically caused from chronic stress, illness, exposure to trauma. Trauma can be anything from falling off a bicycle, getting hit in the head by a ball, and I know Buffalo is huge on sports.
Yes.
Or abuse, physical, emotional, or just daily stressors. And you know, none of us have escaped that.
Right.
So what the microcurrent neurofeedback does is it gets to the root cause. It disentrains the brain from its pathological patterns, and in time it resets it like rebooting a computer.
Wow, interesting.
And it helps it perform
So
at its optimal
how is this
frequency.
administered, Nicole? How do you do this with the patient?
It's a very gentle technology. We use flat sensors applied to the scalp, and we move them, covering all of the acupuncture sites. So we bathe the whole brain.
And so, Teresa, how do you think this is going to benefit your son?
Well, it has already begun
Really?
to benefit. Actually, both my sons. I wanted to practice on my older son. You know, most of us think nothing's wrong, but at the end of the day, we all have a little tweaking we could have. Because actually, it's very good also, may I mention, for peak performance. So people who are, like you, very busy and need like some structure in their brain and just reorganization, they used to use it on snipers prior to sending them out, so they have that hyper focus.
Isn't that
Great for
interesting?
athletes, great for people with concussions. We'll be treating some pro athletes after the new year with post-concussion syndrome.
So, Nicole, how long is a session, and how many sessions does one take before they start to feel a difference?
Typically, a session lasts between 30 and 45 minutes, and usually, most people feel something. My goal is relaxation. Within the first 3 sessions, by the 5th, the benefits start to hold and you recognize that they are sustaining. Typically by 10, you're really feeling them hold for longer periods of time. Everyone is unique, so we can't predict how quickly that is going to last, but they do start sustaining within 10.
Could this in any way help improve someone's memory?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because so many people complain about
Yes.
that, I just don't have the memory I have. I just wish I
Yes.
could recapture that, that function.
Yes, we actually have quite a few patients in our office right now, and understand it's just the tip of the iceberg here
Sure.
in Buffalo, that have achieved wonderful, wonderful results. We're working on a lot of children with ADD, ADHD, learning disabilities, just mental focus in school. Moving on to a young man who's had a car accident, hit from behind by a drunk driver. Memory happens to be his issue. His cognitive cognitive therapy specialist told us that his focus has heightened quite a bit.
Isn't that
with
amazing?
Yeah.
So medical science is right there with you.
Absolutely.
As far as let's try these things. Let's use everything in our medical bag, so
Yeah.
to speak, to foster an improvement with people.
And what I love most about it, Linda, is, as we've already mentioned, it gets to the root of the problem, and there's no harm done. It's an alternative type, more of a natural treatment, and it's sustainable. So it's not something that you need to keep coming back and coming back. You might want to come back for a little tweak here and there, or people love the peak performance part of it.
Yeah.
But as far as the healing part, once the brain is rebooted, if you will, back to default, because we're born pretty perfect, and then life happens, right? So once we get back to that default position of the brain, we're in an optimal state.
Yeah,
And it's a permanent thing.
Nicole, it must be incredible to watch people come back to you. Very satisfying to say, I'm noticing a difference.
For the past 2 years since I've been doing this technology, I have seen miracles every single day, and we're seeing them here in Buffalo.
That's fantastic. That you really brought something really special to our area.
Linda, can I just add
Yep.
a very sensitive part of this whole thing for me as a registered nurse, and seeing all kinds of people in medicine. If you went to a Christmas party and you walked in and saw somebody with maybe a broken leg or something, right away you'd say, "Aw," there's empathy there, there's support there, understanding, and the person feels the love and support as one does when they're injured or in pain. But if you walked in, and that same person walked in with somebody to the side of them who maybe suffered from anxiety, depression, chronic pain, post-traumatic stress, be it from an injury or an illness, you wouldn't see that. And that person doesn't necessarily get that same comforting support. But in reality, that person hurts maybe even more than the one on crutches. So I feel like those are the people I want to touch and help, and it's emotional.
Well,
to be honest
I would
with you.
imagine it is. And you know what? You've really made this very affordable for everybody, because as we want you to know, to introduce this at Amherst Laser and Wellness Center, you're giving people a $200 value for only $100. Now, folks, you can't afford to pass this up. If you really feel like this is something that can help you, or you know somebody, by all means, before this sells out, you want to visit with both RNs, Nicole and Teresa, at the Amherst Laser and Wellness Center. So first log on to WKBW.com, go to Super Savings on 7, and grab this. It's a $200 value. You're only going to pay $100. And this, ladies, as you know, this just might change your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so by all means, try this. Amherst Laser and Wellness Center. Welcome Nicole Parker, RN, to our area, and say hi to Teresa while you're there and her incredible staff.